Hey, welcome everyone to the episode 3 of The Bridge. The Bridge is part of Multicultural Professional Bridge initiative just to keep engaging our stakeholders while we all ride the waves of COVID-19 before we get onto face-to-face again. So it's a very important part of MPB's kind of program for this time. For today's episode, it's really going to be an interesting one. It is about Lime, Guide Them Young initiative, which is an initiative of MPB. And I'm so glad to have Limans themselves here. Lime stands for Leadership, Emotion, and Experience, which is for youth of 12 to 17. So it's really great that we have here today a few of the Lime youth with us. So let me start to begin to introduce them. I have with me on the extreme right, maybe left to your screen, the current leader of the Lime Youth. His name is King David Oyewepo. King David, you're welcome to the show today.
Thank you very much, Ephraim. Thank you very much. It's great to be on the show, and I cannot wait to get started.
Thank you, King David. I also have Keisha. Keisha is being a very important member of the Lime Youth. Keisha brings a lot to the table with regards to the whole essence of Lime. Keisha, you're welcome to the live stream for the bridge.
Thank you, Ephraim.
No worries. And later on, we'll be having Nietzsche. Nietzsche will be joining us. I think he's just having some technical challenges. And when Nietzsche joins us, you'll get to meet Nietzsche. But guys, let's just get on with it. I want to take us back to the beginning of Lime, which was February 2018. I know there were some other occasion, the launch and the other stuff, but I want to just ask first, starting with you, King David, why did you decide to be part of Lime? Why?
So Lime was at first I didn't know about Lime until my dad told me about it, and then we went to the first open day of it, and which was at the Cannington Community Center, and they just gave us like a tester of what Lime was going to be like, and I found it really interesting, and it was a youth initiative, and I was in year 10 at the time, and it was something new to the table, and I thought, why not? And moving forward, I felt and I saw that it was something that was improving my skills in many areas of life, financially, and how I related with people, how I discovered myself, how I set goals, how I planned for the future, and it was also teaching me soft skills. And it was something that I was really proud to be a part of, and I am still proud to be a part of. So it was something new, fresh to the table. So that's why I got into it.
Thank you, King David. Now, I would just want to ask the same. Before I go on, I just want to really welcome Nietzsche. Nietzsche had some technical challenges earlier on. Nietzsche is a big, no worries, Nietzsche. Nietzsche is a big part of Lime. Nietzsche, you're welcome to the bridge. We're just talking about the beginning of Lime. Why did you decide to join and participate in Lime? Before I come back to you, Nietzsche, let me get to Keisha. Keisha, why Lime? Because there are many other things you could have been doing. Why Lime?
Actually, when I started off Lime, I didn't know as much about it. I'd gone to their launch and it sounded quite interesting. So I started doing the program. And out of there, I actually got quite a few things that school actually doesn't teach you. So, for instance, there's things like public speaking, and I got to see the inside of MPB and all that sort of thing. I also got to talk to a robot, and this all school doesn't generally teach you. And Rhyme actually complements school extremely well. The only difference is there isn't much written work, but it complements school extremely well. And ever since I started Lime and I got to even write a book and now do these amazing podcasts, I have grown more passionate about it day by day. And I just hope that I will also be able to inspire many other youth the way that I've been inspired, and hope that they can achieve things that Lime has helped us achieve. Thanks, Ephraim. Over to you.
No worries, Keisha. Thank you so much. So glad to have you. You bring a lot. Nietzsche, I also want to come to you about that question because before we rush into other things, as an organization, we had a vision, but that vision is useless if it's not doing anything for you guys. So why Lime? What do you think, Nietzsche?
Oh well, when I first joined Lime, I was more of a latecomer. I was introduced by one of my other friends, and the first thing I noticed when I walked in the door is all these other youths, some older than me, some younger than me, but they were all very passionate about whatever it was, whether it was Lime Tank, whether it was Gavel, or whatever skills that we were developing. It was all about the passion. All the youth were very passionate about what we were growing. So I think when I first walk into that door of Lime, I knew that Lime was a very well established organization, and it's definitely good for any youths out there. And it was definitely really good for me as well, for me to grow myself. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Nietzsche. And I think, there's a lot has progressed since then. But before I go further, it's good to get an idea of your background because Lime is not meant to be for any particular set of people. It's meant to be multicultural, and I think one of the advantages, the niche, the kind of value that Lime brings to this space is that diversity. So can I just capture where the kind of diversity around this place? So again, coming back to you, King David, can you give a bit of background, where you're from, whether you were born here, just a brief, and where you are at now in your life, King David?
So I was born in Nigeria. I came to Australia when I was 8.5, 2011. I am 17 years old now, turning 18 later in the year. And I'm currently a year 12 student at Westmont Senior High School, finishing in about 4 weeks, including the rest of this week. But yeah, it's been a journey, Yeah, growing up most of my life in Nigeria, then coming here to a whole new world. At first, it was a bit of a challenge, but then over time got used to it. But it was a difficult shock at first, but yeah, you get used to it obviously. But I feel like I won't say it was for the better, but it was something new, something great. And next year I'm going to take to study nursing, and after that, continue wherever my life is. But yeah, that is basically me. I have a younger brother named Abraham, and yeah, my parents, my dad, they're both pastors, and they also interact or play a role in some sort of way for MPB. But yeah, that is basically me.
Thanks, King David. Again, just briefly, can I go to you first now on Nietzsche? Just a bit of your background and what you're up to currently.
Well, a funny story. My name is called Harmonichi. Like, that's my full name, as you can see on the title there. Uh, the first half, harmony, is obviously harmony, which means peace in English. And then the second half with two letters, he, which is he in Mandarin, my mother tongue, which also means peace. So really, this name, it was a creative name for my parents to mix and mash up the East and the Western culture for me. So I came to Perth when I was about 2.5 years old, and I'm only 14 now. So I've been in Australia for most of my life. And yeah, I still find it very important for me to maintain my mother tongue. And yeah, I can still speak my mother tongue, and obviously I'm speaking English right now. So that's a bit of a multicultural background from my side. Yeah.
Wow, thanks, Nature. I know you've been the champion for Lime in terms of everything multicultural. It showed again there just with your brief introduction. Keisha, what about you? Tell us about your background.
So I'm actually born in India. I am an Indian, but mine was a bit more interesting because I actually spent majority of my life in Kuwait, which is in the Middle East. And the reason being that is I used to study over there because my dad's work was over there. We used to go down for holidays a couple of times each year because the way that the Kuwait system worked was that it was split into 3 terms, not 4, and you get a 1.5 month holiday after each term. So I have actually spent about, well, 11 to 12 years or so in Kuwait and India, going, across to different countries. And I came here in about 2011, 2012. So I've been here for about 7, nearly 8 years now. I have had some amazing experiences, including changing 6 to 7 schools in my whole life, including 2 TAFEs, because it was one school in Kuwait, 2 schools in India, and the rest of them were over here to changing suburbs and all
Mm,
of that.
yeah, thank
Thanks.
you.
Efrem, over to you.
Thank you, Keisha. Now we have a bit of background, guys. I want us to get to the meat of this conversation. One of the vision for Line is that we'll create a platform for youth to recognize, to develop, and to unleash the greatness that is in them. Recognize, because sometimes some people may have things they may not know. And that is why sometimes you find some youth going just pear shaped, unfortunately. They don't know that they have that greatness in them, and then to develop it and then help to unleash it. Because the world needs some youth to really come show us how to do things. Now, before I go ahead, before let me just flash this on this screen. Now, this is the banner that we use for this occasion. When I consider that was Nietzsche then, you know, and you've grown a lot, Nick. I mean, Nietzsche, I'm not, and this is not to make any joke. And that's King David, and that is Keisha. There is a little bit smaller there. Guys, you guys have come a long way, and I think it's good to ask that question. Those 3 factors. Has that happened? And if it has or has not, can you just say a bit more around there? I want to start with nature now. Just how has Lime contributed to helping you to recognize, to develop, and bringing out your best self?
Oh, well, what Lime has done for me is that I really pretty much noticed that before Lime, I wasn't really into the community stuff. I'd say I was just a more individualistic person, and then the more I started participating in Lime, the more I started to grow a passion for the community, and and starting to care and be more compassionate for the people around me. So obviously, Lime leadership in motion experience, helping other youths, and by helping other people, I'm also helping myself, which I think is my biggest takeaway from all this Lime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, great. King David.
For me, I wouldn't say I've always been a community guy in a sense. I've always I found an outlet to help my community. I've always found a way to help my community. And so the Lion Project was something that really helped me that. And also the way that I learn is not by people teaching me, like telling me to go read books and everything. And the Lion Project was a way for me to use practical aspects of things to be able to, be able to better myself and help the people around me. And it was an outlet for me to do that, which I really appreciated and I really loved. So yeah.
Thanks, David. Keisha, just also pick up from there. Now, in terms of Lime, how has it helped you to be the best Keisha that you can be? Just in a short expression.
Well, first, to start off with, first, we co authored a book. And actually, one of my dreams is to be an author. So that gave me a small insight into maybe the publishing and all that aspects of it, and maybe some styles of writing. I have co authored a couple of short pieces before, but this is the first time in my life that I'd actually co authored a full book.
Mm.
And it has actually also helped me be a leader in some ways. I have actually been a part of the Vinnie's youth when I was in Lumen Christi College. I was a leader in the case that I was one of their, what would we call it, a communications officer. I was over there and I used to give them communications about how well they've done and what exactly the school could do, what else they could do in order to help Vinnies. I have been also part of the student leadership team in another school called Communicate Academy. And this has actually taught me some leadership skills to, if needed, I lead that team, because I had joined new, but I was actually in year 12, so I was trying to lead all the other different kids and all in that school who may have been younger or may have needed some help, etc. Thanks, Eflem.
Mhm.
Over to you.
Thanks, Keisha. Now, I think, guys, the at the end of the day, just going back to what Nietzsche said, at a point in time, the best thing any youth can do is to become a catalyst for change himself or herself. And I think that is one of the essence of Lime. So I just want you guys to sort of build on that a bit in terms of what you are now doing with the Lime podcast. That is really remarkable. You are now going to the fifth episode, and a lot has happened since then. So I just want to quickly just bring, again, starting with you, Nietzsche, in terms of how is that becoming a change agent? How are you really, really doing that through the podcast?
So the aim of our podcast is obviously to reach the youth out there. Obviously, in the troubling times of COVID, we can't really do much to promote much. So through the podcast, we found a new platform, and obviously using social media, which is our next the topic for this Saturday, which is our next topic. We were using that as a platform to further promote our platform, and all of the episodes from our podcast is from our book, Handbook for Migrant Youth, Peer-to-Peer Wisdom from Those Who've Been There, Done That. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nietzsche. Again, yes, sorry, over to you, King David. King David, can you also just add that aspect of leading the team? How, in addition to the podcast, again, talking about how you are giving back, how Lime has inspired that in you, King David?
I want to say, for me, I've really learned a lot, and it's helped me develop because I won't say when I was very young. I started when I was about 15, 14. I'm 17 now. Last year I was 16. Yeah, when I was 15, 14. And it's really developed the leadership skill in me because I wouldn't say I wasn't the one in charge. I had a lot of people beside me like Nietzsche, Keisha, and a bunch of others as well that was really helping me push Lime and lead Lime. But yeah, it's really helped me develop my leadership skills, and it's really especially going into this podcast, it's really opened many avenues for me. For example, I was able to speak at Murdoch University when they had their African Week. I was able to speak at I think UWA or EC, I forgot which one, close to the city, when they also had the African Week, I was also able to speak in a film conference or film festival because I was affiliated with Lime. So Lime has really opened a lot of doors for me and it's built me my character as a person and really how I view community service and how I view helping the community. And I brought up ideas of how I could help the community and help the people around me better themselves and everything. Yeah, and also yeah, shouting out the next week episode on social media. Be there or be square is going to be phenomenal. If you've missed our past episodes, you can go on our YouTube channel and check them out. But yeah, it's been great. Being part of one moving forward.
Yeah, thank you so much, King David. Now, just want to stay on that a bit. King David actually brought out something which I just want the other guys to also touch on. Just like King David, nature, you have had to get onto a few speaking arrangement as a result of being part of Lime. I just wanted to say a few words about that and what that has really done for you, Nietzsche.
Well, my initial speech, well, my first ever speech was at the closing ceremony of Lime 2.0, which the mayor of Gosnells was there, and then I had my speech with the topic of multiculturalism, which fit the occasion, and then he apparently really liked the speech. I didn't think it was that good of a speech, but apparently he liked it. So he in turn invited me to the annual Gosnells mayoral event for 2019, which they are also talked about multiculturalism, which I think is a really good way for Lime to give me an opportunity. You know, being as a first time speaking in front of community figures. I remember I think Miss Africa was there and the mayor of Gosnells and a lot of other community figures, and that was really my first time doing something like that. And then after I got that opportunity, it made me more of a confident person, which I think Lime is all about, like growing yourself. Yeah.
Keisha, can you just also? I know that you also spoke at the time when I had a book launch, which you really wowed the audience. Can you also share your experience with that, Keisha, and maybe some other ones you've done as a result of your participant with Lime? Keisha, your mic.
I wasn't not confident, but the thing is that I was more looking at how to write a speech because I can actually talk in a way quite well, but I can't write speeches that well. But then I also learned to concentrate on gesturing and how things are said in the speech. So with that, I actually used it and I actually tried to gesture. I tried to use some different techniques that would actually make my speech better. And then with the CRC method, which is commend, recommend, and commend, where you give a commendation to them for their speech, and then you give them two recommendations, so maybe what they can improve in the speech next time, and then you end it with another commendation. I try to better my speeches, I should say, with regards to whether that be my body language or whether that be gestures, and I actually got much more better at it. And I also feel that it's built up my confidence level a lot. This is the first time, I mean, in my full whole life that I've actually been trying out this new video system and all that. I don't generally do a lot of video chats. I didn't used to before that, but now I've grown a lot more, I think, more comfortable with social media. I don't have a lot myself, but the StreamYard system also, it seems amazing. And life has given me a lot of opportunities. For example, BHP and all that sort of thing. We've written an amazing book as well. And one of my dreams is probably actually to be an author. So maybe co-author short stories or author short stories. And Line has actually made that possible for me to even co-author a part of a book, which is it's a small step, but it's amazing. Thanks, Ekram. Over to you.
Yeah,
That's so good.
thank you, Keisha. I just want to, I mean, I couldn't get past just rushing this aspect so that the people actually seeing this can really appreciate what the guys are saying. Now, this was King David at UWA. I was at this event actually, and it was really powerful. It's not just King David saying things because he wanted to say, but it's that maturity in delivering a message. And then, of course, this other one, which was at this event, King David actually shared the stage with Kofi Annan's, the former United Nations chief, his son. So it was really great. And this was the one that Nietzsche was talking about at the City of Augustness. Now, again, these guys are not just talking because they want to talk, and that's him there with the City of Augustness mayor then. Really, really, I mean, after this event, the kind of ovation and accolade that Nietzsche get, it was remarkable. And then finally, Keisha has not this is not the first time, shared a couple of times. So it's really not just saying it, guys. You've been doing this, and how does this make you feel in terms of your confidence level? What do you guys think, King David?
Um, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it without, I want to say sounding cocky, but sounding too prideful.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's not about being acknowledged because if you keep doing something and you just focus on doing it with as all you can or all you have or all you're willing to do it with. Like for example, if your teacher gives you an assignment or if your parents say to do something, you can do it one of two ways. You can do it just to do it, or you can do it because you really want to do it and do a good job at it. So if you focus on doing a good job at everything you get opportunity to do, like you're going to get recognized. I won't say sooner or later, but you're going to get recognized. But that's like it's the like where your heart is at type thing because yeah, you can do it just to do it, or you can do it to do a good job. And if you do a good job, your heart is going to be in it. So when you do get the recognition, you're going to be all like, oh, my hard work. But initially, that was not where your mindset was at. Your mindset was just to do a good job, just to make sure that everything turns out as well as you can, setting up everyone who's part of the project, setting up everyone who has sowing their time, sowing their energy into the project, making sure they have the best use of their time, and then yeah, like it all paying out for you in the long run is just like yeah, phenomenal, and it's just great to see. For myself and for every single person on this um yeah talk right now with Nishi and his
Mm.
to the city of Gosnell, to Keisha and her public speaking,
Yeah.
and both coming all of us coming together to write the book. So yeah.
Thank you, King David. Now I know that somebody, Miriam, on the platform was just asking, what's this topic about? In case you are still there, Miriam, it was actually this was a flyer. It's all about Lime leadership, emotion, and experience for youth, which is an initiative of MPB. And the topic today is really guide them young, which is what the initiative, the vision was all about. And we have the Limers here actually live, sharing their experiences. And we are hoping that others will look at this and say, yes, I can do even more. That's the whole idea. So thank you so much, Miriam. That is really great to have you on the platform today. And I also have somebody that knows Nietzsche.
Hi.
This must be one of your fans.
Yeah.
So, but just
Yeah.
to confirm, this is not a usual Line podcast. Today,
Yeah.
rather, they are my guests. This is under the MPB platform. The Line podcast itself, where you will see these guys fully live. Next episode is this coming Saturday. Try not to miss this. It's going to be powerful. Um, everybody knows what social media is now. It's almost like a a necessary, for some people, is a necessary evil. I don't want to qualify it as my own stance. For some others, it gets some people worried, but at the same time, it's a good stuff for other people. So please join these guys. Now they will be at their element, they will be at their own studio when they will be addressing this, discussing it youth to youth. There's something that happens when youth connect with youth. So check out their YouTube page where that particular episode is going to be live streamed. Please go there, subscribe, and also their Instagram page. These guys are actually doing a lot. Like they already said, it's not just Limers have moved beyond just wanting to get and get. They are beginning to share that greatness in their community among their peers. Guys, we could go on with this on and on because there's so much we can share with people. But I just want to ask for the last word from each of you, knowing that there will be other youth like yourself watching right now. What will be the final word in terms of Lime? We're not saying that Lime is the solution for everything, but Lime has done some great stuff. So if you just want to give a word, a parting shot, something that someone can take away and think about, like yourself, what will you say? I'll start with Keisha this time.
Thank you, Ephraim. So, Live has done this for me, and I would also like to do it for other youth. I would like to unleash the greatness from within of other youth so that they can also get the same value that Lime has given all of us. And I think my fellow peers can actually agree that Live has given us a lot, that it's complemented school very well, but it has also given us things that the school hasn't probably been able to give us. And I hope that we can actually up on these skills and one day take it out into our workplaces or into the world and inspire others to unleash the greatness from within. Thanks,
Thank
Ephraim.
you,
Over to you.
Keisha. Nature.
Yeah, well, what Keisha said was pretty on point. I hope that line for the other youth is really helpful, like it did for me. The way Lime helped me is really like a catalyst for change, as we've mentioned earlier. And I hope that any other fellow Limers out there or any other youths who wish to engage in Lime really enjoy the experience. It's really good for the personal development as well as community development. So yeah.
Wow, thanks. King David, the last one for you, and as the lead.
Um, there's a lot that I could say, but yeah, just keep it nice and nice and sweet. Everyone likes a speech that is short and sweet, so you'll just keep this short, concise, and sweet. Um, as I said earlier, Lime, I learned by doing things practically. And Lime has provided an avenue for me to do that. And yeah, yesterday, Dad was telling me about how after 2 weeks, we remember 20% of what we hear, 50% of what we see, and all these other things. But we remember about 70 to 90% of what we do. And being part of Lime and be participating all that he had to offer, the financial education sessions, public speaking sessions, self-discovery sessions, so on and so forth, something that I'll definitely never forget. Like, yeah, it's been over a year plus, and I haven't forgotten anything that I've learned. So I know it's going to stick with me forever and ever. And probably implement the same teachings to my kids because they were really phenomenal. And yeah, it's meant to coincide with schools, not meant to take away from school at all. And it also adds that extra into your life and your own personal development. So yeah, it's a phenomenal project, and yeah, again, I'm proud to be a part of it. And yeah,
Wow. Wow, guys, I'm blown away. I feel like my job is done. So you guys can just run with it now because what you guys just shared is like I'm no longer needed, guys. For King David to be saying that I intend to share this to my children, wow, that is a big one. So, guys, thank you so much. For those that are watching, please just connect with us one way or the other if you like what you're saying, because the vision of Lime was this: create a platform for youth to recognize, to develop, and to unleash the greatness in them. These guys already have greatness. Just look at Mitchell, look at King David, look at Keisha here. They have greatness in them. But unfortunately, sometimes society, peers, or environment may want to shut it in. So Lime is trying to create that platform, create that friendship, create that sponsorship so that people can actually just be their best selves. And the other thing that we didn't have time to discuss, guys, time failed us. We're really planning a documentary, which we will also turn into a road tour to schools where we'll keep sharing this catalyst, keep sharing this message. Currently, we have a few applications for grants. Unfortunately, sometimes you could be doing the best thing in life. People may not see it or appreciate it, but we do. So we hope we get the grants come true. But grant or no grant, guys, we are doing it. We're going to have that documentary video. Hopefully, it will go to ABC, go to SBS, and maybe even BBC or CNN, guys. The vision is big, very big, because I believe in what we are doing. Just by this interview today, I'm even more passionate to see that what you guys are able to articulate and share can be shared with others as well. So if you're watching this, connect with us. Check out the next podcast. I really don't want to close without highlighting that again. Please check out the next podcast. Social media is a current thing. King David is going to be leading that. You'll see Nietzsche and Keisha again. Check it out. It's going to be very good. Once again, Nietzsche, thank you so much for being my guest today. Thank you. I always like being around where you are because you share great stuff. I can see it happening already. The unleashment is going on there. Keisha, obviously, you're a big component of Lime and what we do here. Keep doing it. Don't drop it. I know you bring a lot to the table. It's not just about diversity. Having a lady among us, Keisha, brings a lot. Thank you, Keisha, for being with me today.
Thank
And
you.
lastly, to my leader and my guy, he's not called King David for nothing. He's a king. So, King David, thank you so much for being with us. Let's keep doing this, guys. It's great. Thank you, King David.
Thanks for listening to this amazing meeting by you, for you.
Excellent. And then
Thank
we
you,
have
Yo,
everyone.
this
we just
Saturday.
want to, yeah, thank you. Next Saturday, indeed. Just before we go, I just want to acknowledge Miriam. Miriam, thank you so much. We really appreciate your company and thank you for the kind words. And then, of course, Jaden, I know you're a Nietzsche's fan, but you've also become our friends, not just Nietzsche's alone. Thank you, Jaden. And then we have Miriam again. That's so good. Thank you, Miriam. Please, in case you know somebody that can benefit from this, connect with us. We'll share more details with you. And of course, we have our friend Joshua who sneaked in at the end. Joshua, thank you so much. Thank you for saying hello to us. Thank you, Joshua. Hey guys, thank you for your time. See you on Saturday, and then we'll keep doing this. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Pew.